everyone, welcome back to Carrots and Olives. My name is Brittany. Today we are quickly going to go through my pens for the month of May that are inked up. I set this up last night and I'm actually pretty pleased with my selection. I do want to give you a fair warning that this may be the last month for a few months of filming like a currently inked video with like more formally in this manner. Since I am due at the end of this month, I am going to try my best to give myself some rest and relax a little bit. And so I do believe that these pens are going to last me for at least a month or more. Hopefully. I'm hoping it's going to last me more than a month. Which is why I kind of selected them. So these are all the inks I'm using this month. I only have 6 inked up because I didn't want to go overboard, as I still have some inks from last month that I still want to use and not entirely like waste the ink, because I do have a lot more ink in them. So let's get started. I'll move everything out of the way. Up top, I just did a really simple spread this month, and I'm using the Esterbrook cup, and I feel like it's perfect, although none of these pens are Esterbrooks. So let's get started with my first pen. These are all birds, as you may be able to see. So I have pretty much majority of the sizes, and we're going to go through them right now. So let's start with the Pelikan M120, and this one is my most recent Pelikan that my mom purchased for me at the December pen show, at the Denver pen show. And I talked about it a little bit on my channel not too long ago. I drew out these images because I just wanted to color them in so we could see how the ink looks outside of just writing with it. And so now I gotta find the correct ink bottle shape. So I guess you could say I kind of messed up on this ink shape, but this is the Wieringle, which is the color I chose for the 120. And this 120 is a vintage, and it was purchased from a man who was selling his personal collection. And it has a little bit of flex to it. So this green has some glitter, and it's the extra fine. Let's get a little closer. Extra fine nib. And then the ink again is Wieringle. I always spell it wrong. It's called Path. It's an interesting color, almost like a bright springy green. And if I were to take my water brush, kind of pull the color, there is some glitter to it, and actually this color doesn't want to move very well. Is this a water resistant ink? Interesting. So it's very juicy. You could see kind of the glimmer in the ink as I lay down my strokes. And as for reverse, you can get a little bit of writing out of it. It's like an extra fine. So I guess it works. This is a really cute, it almost could pull off being a pocket pen, but I guess you could say it's a little bit taller than even the M100 or the M200s. So the next one is my M205, and this is one of my first Pelicans I purchased. It's a clear body. And the M205s are very lightweight fountain pens. They almost seem a little bit ridiculous in how light in weight they are in comparison to like the price. Oh, and of course, error, M205. So if it were an M200, it would have gold trim, and anything that doesn't have gold trim and has silver trim has the 5 at the end. I don't know all the specific details, or at least I can't remember. At one point in time, I did research like where it came from and how they came up with their naming system. Definitely check out Pelican on Google to learn more about it. It's pretty interesting. This is a medium. I would say these two pens are for smaller hands because the grip is even more narrow than the barrel of the body. And plus the pen feels like as if it doesn't exist because it's so lightweight. The ink I'm using is Vert de Gris, and it's from Herbin. So it's like a gray. And initially when I purchased this pen, I thought it would lean more towards gray, but it's actually leaning a little bit like blue gray. This gray. So I like blue. And it doesn't bother me. And plus it's made, all the pens I've used this ink in, very wet writers. Almost a little too wet to where it looks a little bit like the ink doesn't work well with this paper, with Tomoe River paper. But you can also see the shimmer. There's a little bit of shading with this ink. Reverse writing is not great with this pen. It's not scratchy, but this is like way too light. So it's hard to see. Okay, so next is this one, which is brown. And this was one of the special editions, I think back in 2000, one of the teens, 2018, 19, something like that. And it came with its own ink when you purchase this. So this one, Pelikan M200, because it has gold trim, and it's a fine. The ink I'm using is Troublemaker. Winter Wood. I'm sorry. It's not Winter Wood. And it's not Troublemaker. It's, wow. Hello. Okay. Not Troublemaker. It's actually Dominant Industry. Winterwood. Okay, throwing myself off, getting a little bit confused, and that means I should have put this one down here because this is the Dominant Industry bottle, but we are going to ignore my mistake because it's just fun. It's my hobby. We make mistakes. Reverse writing. Wow, it's like an extra fine. And it's not scratchy, but it's definitely not going to last very long. So we will still test out the swatch. Sorry for all the shaking. Goodness, I wish I could somehow steady this. I didn't think that it would shake as much. I think it's because I'm on my desk that can move up and down. And so the base, I don't know, for some reason it's not being steady. And I've said that a couple times. I just haven't solved the issue. Okay, so next we get into some colorful Pelicans. This is the Pelikan M400, which is very similar to an M200. So if you're wondering, oh, is the 400 better for me or is the 200 better for me? They are roughly the same in barrel size. The only difference is, I think it's the nib. So this is a two-tone nib. And this has gold trim, and it has this really pretty, like glass-like look of green and yellow. And you can even see the ink a little bit in between. So this is the M400. And I have this in the Troublemaker. Autumn, Rain, Gray. And this one has sparkle. I don't know too much about this ink because it's fairly new to me. I did show it on a unboxing video. I'm just hoping it doesn't clog up my fountain pen. This is an extra fine, which is why I'm hoping it's not going to have flow issues. Right now, it's doing pretty good. But yeah, it's like a greenish. It looks a little bit green and has a lot of sparkle. Now the wearing gold also has sparkle, but this one has more sparkle to me. In reverse writing, actually does a little bit better than all of them. Okay, so what's next? We have one of my favorites. This is the Pelikan M600, and it has the purple stripes. And this one has one of my favorite inks. This is the broad. So the ink I'm using is Herbin. Le Myosotis. I don't even know how to pronounce that. And it's this beautiful, like, I want to say, it looks like a particular flower color to me, but I can't think of the flower off the top of my head. But it's this like bluish purple, really soft color to me. And the broad is very broad. I feel like you go from a medium to like a double broad with this broad when you compare medium to broad. It's really broad, but it writes really well, super smooth. Reverse. I guess it writes pretty good with the reverse, not scratchy. It gives a lot of ink. But I love this color. Okay, so last but not least is my Pelikan M800 in the blue stripes. And this one does have gold trim. It is significantly heavier than the M600. So I typically like to write with it unposted, but it fits really good in my hands unposted for someone who has, I want to say, like small medium hands. Let's see. The ink I have is Herbin. Bleu Calanque. This is really pretty summer blue, bright. Makes me happy. And it makes me think of like the Mediterranean, being on the coast, being at a beach. So this is a fine, and it writes really well. I've talked about this a couple times. It has been on some of my currently inked videos. Where did I put? Oh. And so, oops, I had a little bit of that last color in here. But yes, I love this color as well. Oh, let's do the reverse writing. Actually writes really well for reverse. And they all can write in reverse. I'm sure that you see everything. See all the reverse writing. But the M800 writes the best in reverse. At least mine does. And yeah, so these are the pens I'm going to be playing with this month. I'm excited because I am familiar with them, although, you know, this gives me an opportunity to use them all together. I have used this one more recently and this one these three actually more recently, and these have just kind of sat actually these ones have sat for a year or so. So I'm glad to be able to use my Pelicans, and if you guys have any questions for me, put them in the comments below. I really want to get the Stresemann Pelican. I think it's the one that has like the gray and black body stripes, but I haven't found one with a good deal, so I just always been passing on it. But anyway, that's just a wish list item. And I would say my favorite size is the M600, although the broad is not much of a size nib that I can use. So I've been wanting to get another M600 in a fine so that I could use it for like daily writing and planning. But anyway, that's all I gotta say. I hope you guys have a good month ahead, and I will hopefully see you soon, but with different videos, probably not so much directly related to my currently inked for May. And anyway, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.